Every time I travel, from Quezon City down to the south, perhaps to meet friends at the SM Mall of Asia Arena, or just to travel, my route almost always takes me through Malate. The ride is familiar, the rush of public utility vehicles along Taft Avenue, the quick flashes of people crossing in between cars, and the glow of shop signs. But one sight always draws my eyes, even from behind the glass of the bus window, the UP-PGH General Hospital. Its facade, with its neoclassical columns and wide, arched entryways, stands like a sentinel in the side of Manila's busy and toxic environment. UP-PGH isn't just another building along Taft. It carries an aura of seriousness. Seems like it's guarding a plethora of untold stories. From the bus, I catch glimpses of people, like patients arriving in wheelchairs, students in white uniforms rushing between buildings, family members of the patients waiting patiently outside under umbrellas. Even though I'm not stepping out, the scene always feels close and real, like I've been invited into a quiet moment of someone else's life. My first real connection to UP-PGH wasn't as a patient, but as someone who just wants to roam around UP Manila. There's a certain weight to knowing that the same halls I passed were also once walked by some of the country's best medical professionals, like doctors and nurses, but also lots of patients who had journeyed hours, even days, to be here. PGH is more than just a hospital. It is an institution embedded in our country's history. It was erected in 1907 in the American colonial period and was designed by one and only William E. Parsons, the same architect responsible for other significant buildings and structures in the Philippines. Its neoclassical style was intentional. You can see a blend of being functional and its dignity. These make it both a place of healing for people and a symbol of modern progress at the time. It became the official teaching hospital of the University of the Philippines College of Medicine in 1910. Its role not only in patient care, but also in the medical education field. Through the decades, PGH became a silent witness to a plethora of events. It endured heavy damage during World War II, then rose again to continue its service. It has stood through political upheavals, public health crises, and the ever-changing landscape of Manila City. Passing PGH from the comfort of a public vehicle window is one thing, but walking by its gates gives you a different perspective. You notice the street vendors selling snacks and bottled water to families who have been waiting all day. You see the mix of hope and exhaustion on the faces of those lining up at the outpatient department in front of College of Arts and Sciences of UP Manila. I was also able to hear conversation in different Philippine languages, like Cebuano, Bicolano, and Hiligaynon. This shows that PGH is a place of Filipino people who aims for quality yet free healthcare. You would see murals inside that reflects the progress of the Philippine medicine, some painted with bright colors just to show scenes of care and healing. They felt almost like a visual counterweight to the reality of illness. The hospital wasn't only about suffering, but also recovery and hope. There's a kind of Bayanihan spirit that lives here, though it's not always loud or obvious. It's in the way interns hold the elevator for patients in stretchers, in how strangers offer seats to the elderly, and in the quiet prayers whispered in waiting rooms and in the church inside. This place feels alive in this way, that this is not just an institution, but a community as well. In history, you will find it mentioned in historical documentations or in literature about medical stuff. But rarely will it appear in a city's tourism. This is partly because hospitals aren't usually seen as tourist attractions. Yet, when you think about heritage, PGH is a living archive of a physical space where generations of Filipinos have intersected through the shared human experiences of illness, care, hope, and healing. If the city chose to present PGH as part of its cultural heritage, it could take several forms. Heritage walking tours in Manila could include PGH, alongside sites like Intramuros and Rizal Park in Bagumbayan. That highlights its architectural style and historical resilience. Inside the hospital is a small museum or exhibit, could be dedicated to its role during the war, its medical breakthroughs, and its influence on Philippine healthcare. Archives with old photographs and personal accounts could be made accessible to the public, so people could see not just the building, but the people shaped within its walls. For me, PGH is more than a place we pass by. Personally, it reflects parts of our lives. My time at Malate brought us into its environment, and even after we left this place, its presence. It serves as a point that in the middle of a noisy and toxic city, there are places where the stakes are life and death, and yet hope persists. It's also a reminder that heritage isn't always about old churches or ancestral houses. Sometimes it's about the institutions that continue to serve, adapt, and endure over time. PGH may not be a traditional tourist stop, but it's undeniably a part of Manila's cultural and historical fabric. It tells a story of resilience, education, and service, one that deserves recognition beyond its medical community. Passing by Taft Avenue is never just passing by, seeing the PGH. Whether from the car window or on foot, it's impossible not to feel its weight in the city's story. It stands as both a medical lifeline and a monument. It connects the past to our present through the people it serves. Every trip, every quick glance at its columns, every sight of Oblate reminds me that heritage can be found in places we might not think to look. And maybe that's the lesson PGH quietly teaches, that history lives not only in grand ceremonies or preserved ruins,